Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex, and you are watching BC Adventure. So, the other day I did a poll on the YouTube posts section asking if you guys would like to see me setting up an Exchange server. And, not a ton of people responded, but I did get, I think, 6 or 7 responses saying yes. So, I figured why not jump into some Windows Server stuff? So yeah, today I'm going to be deploying a Microsoft Exchange server on one of my Windows servers that I have. And the way this is done is you just can't have a Windows server with everything on it. So currently I have a server set up called Arc, and then I have another server set up in my server rack. Arc server is actually here just below my desk, and the Exchange server is actually living in my network rack. And the way this works is I've got my Active Directory domain controller, which is the Arc server, and then I'm going to have the Exchange server, which is joined to my Arc server domain. So the Arc server is currently running Windows 2019 Server Standard, same with Arc, and I'm just about to hop into the prerequisites of getting the Exchange server set up. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so as you might be able to tell, I have a remote desktop running inside of a remote desktop. So yeah, that's actually happening. So yeah. So to get started, what you have to do is you need to actually, before we do this, I can't even do this yet. I need to update the server. So the way this works is you have to download the Exchange server deployment file, and then you have to put it on your main hard drive somewhere where it's easy to find. And then you're going to run 3 prerequisite or pre-installation command line prompts. That's going to prep the Active Directory domain controller as well as the Exchange server for setting up an Exchange server. What it does is it writes a bunch of permissions and Active Directory files so that the 2 servers communicate with each other, and it just does its magic in the background. So before we do the pre-installation, we need to do a Windows Update because this is a brand new deployment. I have not done anything other than install the Windows Server 2019 Standard Edition, activated it, and then I joined it to my domain. So what we're going to do right now is do Windows Update. And it's going to go ahead and get all the updates installed. And then we're going to do the pre-installation for Microsoft Exchange. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. And now you may be asking, why am I doing this? Well, I have, despite what many of you like to believe, I actually do have a fair number of Windows PCs in the home. While my Mac may be my daily driver, especially for video editing, we use Windows PCs here for work, for the kids use them for school, for games, because who wants to play games on a Mac? We do also have the PlayStation 5, but the kids have been gravitating more towards the the Windows PCs. So my main goal was to deploy the Arc server so that I can manage what the computers are doing, how they're managing their data, back them up in case they nuke something. And then I started thinking, well, what if I run a local Exchange server so that we can just send each other, silly emails or chore lists, or have like a shared calendar, something along those lines. And I was successful at deploying that, which completely blew me away because I think the last time I installed an Exchange server, I was like 12 or 13 years old, and it was on like Windows 3.11. So I had a little bit of background working with Exchange, but nothing new. I haven't used any of the newer Exchange servers since, again, I was 12 years old. So I think that was like 1998. Oh, crap, it was earlier than that. Yeah, I must have been about 10. And I had an Exchange server deployed on my Windows 3.11 machine. Um, and that was the only computer in the house, so I couldn't do anything with it. But I did successfully deploy a Exchange server locally and was able to send emails to all the different accounts. And then I started thinking, well, why don't I actually deploy a Exchange server? You know, I've got a business internet plan, port 25 is open. So why the hell not? You know, let's just challenge myself and see if I can set up a an Exchange server that actually works on the internet. So I went ahead, I bought a domain, um, and you know, I kind of went back and forth with ChatGPT. Now I don't recommend ChatGPT for, you know, building apps and stuff like that. You know, script kiddie stuff. It is a great resource to help you along the way if you don't quite know all the commands or steps to take. So, full transparency, I am referencing ChatGPT. It is helping me along, and yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna attempt this internet-facing Exchange server. I'm gonna try and get the Exchange or the Outlook Exchange mail app on my phone, because that's actually what prompted me to do this. Was I wasn't able to connect to my local Exchange server via the app, even while on the home network. So it just kind of pushed me into thinking, you know, well, why don't I just do this anyways, just to try it out? Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, well, this is silly. You know, you've got Gmail, you've got iCloud, you've got Outlook email. You know, why deploy your own server? And just to simply put it, I've been offered a really good opportunity out in the Vancouver area working with a company who has offered me 3 times the wage of what I'm making now. And that would be a huge step up for our family financially. And it would open up a lot of doors for us and eventually give us the opportunity to buy a house. You know, we are renting, we're paying someone else's mortgage, and I would like a house of our own. And, you know, I'm not going to get that out here on Vancouver Island. So, um, yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'm teaching myself this stuff. And, you know, and no, I didn't lie my way into the position. I am a network technician at heart. That's what I've self-trained in. And then I went ahead and I got myself the Ubiquiti certification for network deployment. And, you know, I am a certified low voltage technician. I can pull wires. I can work with low voltage. I can do security alarms, cameras, you know, door access, that kind of stuff, gate access. Fire panels, I don't work with. I'll leave that to the electricians. They get paid the big bucks to deal with that. But, you know, and so I've done a couple consulting jobs for this company, and we get along so well that they did ask me to come on full time. So, yeah, that's, you know, next summer, the plan is to move over to the Abbotsford Chilliwack area and start working for a company that's going to pay me a decent wage. Now, don't get me wrong, I love working for the government. However, even with the latest facilities bargaining agreement that went through, it's only a 12% wage increase over the next 4 years, 3% each year, which is absolutely nothing, you know, compared to the cost of living and how much that's increasing every year. You know, it's my rent goes up 3% every year. So really, I'm not getting a wage increase. I'm just sustaining the increase in rent we're paying each year. So, you know, it is what it is, and we're making a decision based on what's best for the family. And I'll always have the government job to fall back on because it's a union, and I can drop to casual status and you know, still be in the pool to be able to pick up work. So I'm not really concerned there, but that is the plan, which I have not shared with you guys, and I figured I probably should. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this to finish installing. And once this is done, we're going to jump right back into the video and get the pre-installation done for Exchange, and then jump right into the Exchange installation. Now, there may be parts of this video where I'm not talking, or, you know, down in the corner, you know, right down there. And and I'll probably just voice over for certain parts because well, right now it's 7:47 at night. Kids are going to, or one of the kids is going to bed at 9:30. Wife's out, at a work event, and yeah, I don't want to be too loud, yipping and yapping down here. So anyways, I'm going to let this installation finish up, and then we're going to jump into the pre-installation for Exchange, which I'll talk through a little bit of that, and then we'll get into the actual Exchange deployment, and then I'll probably do a voiceover for that. So just want to be completely transparent with you guys. I am really excited about doing this because the local install was a success. And yeah, so anyways, we'll be right back as soon as this is done. Okay, so Windows Update is now done. Took about 25 minutes, half an hour. So we're on to the next steps now. So first thing we need to do is we need to mount the install CD. And it's got all that stuff there. And then we've got our setup here. Okay, so we can close out of that. Actually, we need to get the drive. This F. Okay. So I'm going to open a command prompt, and I'm going to run as administrator. Make this big, and then I need to get my commands. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is setup.exe, repair. Oh, type it in the wrong window. F period / setup.exe / prepare a schema / I accept Exchange server license terms. Enter. Need to accept the license terms to install. I accept Exchange server. I misspelled license. Spelt it the Canadian way. There we go. Okay, so now this is going to prepare Active Directory. Oh, sorry, this is preparing the schema. The next command is setting up the Active Directory. And then the third step is preparing the domains. So my main server that has the Active Directory controller on it is Arc server. And then the Exchange server is just ex01 .arc server.local, I think it is. Somewhere, something like that, yeah. But yeah, so that's basically what we got to do here is run through these 3 pre-installation processes, and then we can actually run the setup file and get the Exchange server all set up or installed entirely. And then there's still quite a bit more work to do in order to get this internet facing. And like I said, I did go out and I purchased a domain so that I have a fresh domain that has no mail server on it or anything. And then, we can make it internet facing. So once this is done, we'll jump into step 2, which is preparing Active Directory. Okay, so Active Directory schema isn't up to date. Reboot from a previous install is pending. The Windows component, RSAT ADDS tools isn't installed. Okay, so that's normal. We're not too concerned about this. Now let's quickly check the Windows update. Okay, so it wants a restart. So we're going to go ahead and do a restart. And yeah, and then we'll jump right back into it. And yes, as you can tell, I am running a remote desktop inside of a remote desktop. So yeah. Anyways, okay, we'll jump right back into it as soon as the server restarts. Okay, so we're logged back in and I am just running the prepare schema command again, just to make sure that everything properly is copied over. Now, it didn't say that the prepare schema action failed. It did say that the prerequisite check failed. So I just want to be 100% sure, I want this to work right the first time. So that's what we're doing. We're just running the prepare schema command again. And yeah, it's copying files right now. So hopefully that's gonna work out well. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's going to double check the prereqs again. Okay, it's doing that now. 96%. Okay, Active Directory schema is not installed or up to date. Okay, so that's going to be the next command that we run here. So let me just pull that up. Okay, gonna go back, change prepare schema to prepare AD, and then we need to add in organization name, and I'm going to call this Arc Mail. Okay, so this is going to do the exact same thing. It's going to copy over the required files. Oh, file copy complete. RSAT ADDS tools isn't installed. Okay, so we're going to ignore that and we're going to set up the last command here. Let's see, prepare all domains. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we see here that the prerequisite test failed. That's okay. We will, let's see. Okay, so we're going to close out of this. No, I closed the wrong one. Bring you up there, close you out. Now let's run the setup file. So I believe there may be a couple additional things that I need to run in order to get this set up properly. No, I don't want to check for updates right now. My best guess is because deploying it locally went so smoothly that this is going to give me nothing but problems. It just seems to be the way it goes, especially when I do videos on Unraid stuff. I'll often deploy the application first, learn the ecosystem, then delete it. And then when I go to deploy it for a video, nothing works. Fingers crossed this actually works properly. So the first time I set up the Exchange server, I actually didn't read anything. I just went ahead and ran the setup file, and it installed a bunch of server roles that I'm guessing the pre-installation process wanted. So I'm hoping that that's the case here. Yes, use recommended settings, and I want the mailbox role. Automatically install server roles. Okay, it needs 8 gigs. Okay, I'm not a large organization. Oh, what's that? Okay. Name of this exchange organization. ArcMail. No, want to keep malware scanning on. Let's see, what's it going to complain about? Okay, we'll jump right back into it as soon as this finishes. So I predicted it. Having an issue here. Something to do with, where are we here? Windows Defender. Yeah, the Windows Defender firewall. Access denied. Okay, so I'm going to troubleshoot this and then we're going to jump right back into it when I know what the issue is. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so looked it up here and so what I had to do was run this command, set execution policy remote signed force. And then next I have to stop the firewall. So net stop MPSSVC. Okay, that command is not available. Netstop MP. Let's see if this works now. No. Okay, so I had to relaunch the setup file as an administrator. And basically, Server 2019 doesn't like allowing applications to modify the Windows firewall via PowerShell. So what I did was I installed two registry keys to disable Exchange from doing that so that we can move forward, and then I'll have to manually open the firewall ports that I need. A little inconvenient, but not the end of the world. No, okay. Do your thing, Exchange. Well, yeah, it's still doing it. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. So what I did to try and solve this was I logged directly into the EX01 server as administrator, not through the administrator account that's connected to the ARC domain. Now, let's see if this did the trick. Fingers crossed again. Who knows? Oh, I hope this works. Oh, still the same shit. Let's see if this works. Not recommended. Okay, it says to run the setup again, but I doubt that's going to do anything. It's all, I know this is all because the first local Exchange installation went perfect. First try, no issues. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm restarting the server. This is my ARC server here, not the Exchange server, as I'll show you here. So this is ARC server. And so what I had to do, and hopefully this works because everything else seems to not work, was go into the registry and fully disable Windows Firewall. And I also had to disable something called UAC, which I don't know what that is. And what this does is it's supposed to ensure Exchange setup can modify all protected system components. Now, I was just thinking about this, and the server I installed my Exchange server on the first time was a 2016 standard, not a 2019 standard. So if this keeps giving me issues, I'm going to nuke both servers, set them up on 2016 because I am quite familiar and comfortable with that ecosystem. Even though 2019 shouldn't be really any different. But yeah, that's that may be the way that we need to go here because Exchange is truly pissing me off now. So yeah, let's this should be rebooted. So I'll get logged in and get the setup brought back up, and we'll jump right back into it. All right, so apparently you cannot disable the Windows firewall in Server 2019. So what I'm doing is I ran another prerequisite install for Active Directory, and but if this keeps giving me problems, I'm going to nuke both servers and go back to Server 2016 because I have proven that it works on there by doing a local install. So this keeps giving me errors. I'll just end the video. You guys got to see me struggle through and accept defeat on this front. However, the fight is not over. So I'm just going to run one more command here. MPS SVC. Okay, it is stopped. Okay, so it's stopped, but it still doesn't like it, which I don't understand. So I just need to copy this and get the right command. Okay, services.msc. All right, find Windows Defender Firewall right there. Right click properties. And okay. All right. I disabled it in registry. Okay, so need to open regedit again. And let's see. MPS CV. Oh, yeah. Start, and I need to change this back to a 2. Close out of that. And we need to reboot. So much fun. And it doesn't let me restart from command. Okay. Restart. Oh, the fun of Exchange. Bring this over here. We don't have to keep dragging and dropping windows. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, I have to run that in PowerShell. My bad. Running. Okay. All right. IIS is installed. Let's go to this PC. Exchange. Mount. All right. We'll jump right back in as soon as the setup is up and running. All right. Doesn't this look familiar? Oh, yeah. It's got to copy the files all over again. Okay. Here's the deal. I cannot get it to work with 2019 because of the firewall rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Arc server on 2019 standard server, and I'm going to reinstall Windows Server 2016 standard on the other server. And I'm going to deploy Exchange on the 2016 server because I know it actually works. So, and the reason I know that it works is because I've deployed it previously on a internal basis with absolutely no issues. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and yeah, make sure that we can get this up and running, and actually get this fully functional and show you guys that it does work and it is doable. So I'm going to end the video here for now. Thank you all for watching me struggle, and I hope you have a good rest of your what is it, Thursday, Thanksgiving today, but this video may be coming out a few days later. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.